I go for refuge and enlightenment to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by the accumulations of practice of keeping so forth. I go for refuge and enlightenment to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by the accumulations of the practice of keeping so forth. The Buddha, the sentient beings. I go for refuge and enlightenment to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by the accumulations of the practice of keeping so forth. Sanya Jola Zoge Jonama Janjo Badu Dani Gatsuji Nage Jinsoge Bezonamye Gola Lenche Sangye Gupasho Sanya Jola Zoge Jonama Janjo Badu Dani Gatsuji Nage Jinsoge Bezonamye Gola Lenche Sangye Gupasho Sangye Jola Zoge Jonama Janjo Badu Dani Gatsuji Nage Jinsoge Bezonamye Gola Lenche Sangye Gupasho Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashamana Yesvaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashramana Yesvaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavatat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashramana Yesvaha. All phenomena arise in causes. The causes are taught by the Dhamma. The cessation process is very taught by the priests here. Okay, so what we're doing is the 8 mundane concerns, or what we mean here is the 8 dharmas. Say 8 dharmas, if it's possible, try to underline this and say 8 mundane concerns or 8 mundane dharmas. Mundane. Because 8 dharmas, people immediately will connect it with the something very positive. Okay, say 8 dharmas. And say when there's a loss of freedom, In other words, how you would say that say finally, just if somebody can tell me, what do you understand by misery? Anyone? Suffering or misery? What do you understand by this? How do you explain this? Anyone? Not just examples. Misery, what's meant by misery? Yes.
Dissatisfaction.
Dissatisfaction. Very good. Anyone else?
The inevitability of unwanted experience.
Inability to?
The inevitability of unwanted experience.
Inevitability of unwanted experience.
Oh. Inevitability of the unwanted experiences. Very good. Inevitability. Unwanted experiences are bound to happen. Okay, anyone else? Yes.
When there's no peace.
Okay, where you are to practice peace. There's also misery, suffering, Jack.
Difficulties, problems.
Difficulties, problems, very good. Anyone else? Omar?
Not getting what we want and getting what we don't.
Not getting what you want and getting what you don't want. Okay, William, Nishambala?
No control over our life.
No control over life. And maybe material.
Anything unpleasant. Anything unpleasant.
And unpleasant. Okay, and unpleasant. Good. Chelsea?
Loss of freedom and happiness.
Loss of freedom and happiness. Very good. Pain. Good pain.
Fear.
Fear. Fear. Yes, fear. Okay. Aditi?
Suffering.
Suffering. What is suffering?
Lack of freedom.
Lack of freedom. Okay. So I would say that it can put in many forms. I would say inevitability of the unpleasant, unwanted experience, and so all what is said, that's just perfect. Okay, Min, what would you say?
I would say lack of freedom.
Lack of freedom. Well, yes.
Going through depression.
Going through
Depression.
depression. Okay.
And like negativity, emotion.
Negativity, very good. Joshua?
Sadness. Sadness. Sad.
Oh, sadness.
Miseries, right?
Yes.
I mean, to add a new word, I'll say sadness. To add something you haven't just said.
So those people who are enjoying nightclub, are they suffering or not suffering?
I mean, suffering, involuntary.
No, involuntary sadness. Or sadness. So are they sad? Nightclub? Okay, what I'm saying is that suffering, instead of just giving instances, sadness one instance. Instead of giving instances, what do you understand by this? Which pervades suffering.
I don't think the Syrian man can use properly.
It isn't there. I know her the last 50 years. Young before you were born. But amazing, you're so kind. He's so kind. He's so kind.
Huh?
He wants me to speak so that you can understand it. This guy.
Don't be worried.
Oh, he's so kind. This is so
Don't be
precious.
worried about me.
Okay. Anila.
Inability of, how do I know? Yeah, lack of control on what you experience.
Lack of control on what you experience. Okay, Anila.
Not good for emotion.
Okay. And Carmen, what do you think?
Yeah, one.
Huh?
I have one.
No, what I'm saying is, these are instances.
What?
These are the instances, examples. I'm saying, what does he mean by suffering in general?
Experience.
Okay, to experience the consequences of the contaminated karmas. Uncontaminated karmas is very good. Okay, Bandula.
This is the experience comes from samsara. Samsara comes from contaminated karmas. Contaminated karmas comes from addictions. Addictions come from inappropriate attentions, and primarily inappropriate attention comes from self-grasping.
Wonderful. This is a very comprehensive picture. Thank you. Hirosha. Okay, now freedom. NMC. Okay. Ashwin.
The psychological or physical problems.
He tries to make it complicated. Psychophysical complex, psychophysical.
No. Psychological or physical
This
problems.
is psychophysical. Okay, good. Similar.
Disturbances in the mind.
Disturbance of the mind. Okay. Kar घूम दे कूदो yes okay
Why do you laugh?
Krishna,
You don't.
what do you understand by suffering?
Being in uneasy. Being in uneasiness. Uneasiness.
Okay, the uneasiness. Wonderful. Hey, G.
You should have a lack of freedom for me too.
Level freedom. Hey, car.
Krishna will told another answer, absence of happiness.
Distress.
Distress. Okay, go ahead now.
Live without hope.
Oh, live without hope. What about those people who are in the natural dancer? Suffering or suffering? It's probably the suffering change.
Yeah.
Right? It's suffering. So they say, are you living without hope? So now no hope, okay, never by chance. Okay. Dasana. What is suffering?
Saturation.
Saturation. Very good.
Feeling stuck in a situation where you don't have any control.
Okay, situation where you have no control. Okay, so Himani, what do you think?
What do you say?
Missing for me is like a burning sensation that I have no idea how it is, what it is. Before I get all this.
Okay, what about when you are enjoying your birthday party with your parents, family members? That is suffering or suffering? Keep in mind all three kinds of suffering, not only the manifest suffering. Okay, this is better.
Destructive emotions.
Destructive emotions. Okay. Okay, what do you think?
Lack of control, overall, over situations happening around us.
Okay, that would control our mind and situations around us. Very good. Okay, and go. What do you think?
Difficult pain, when you don't have a choice or when you don't know how to overcome.
Okay, so you have an issue, you don't know how to overcome the problem. Okay, Joshua, you say it. What do you say?
I said sadness.
Sadness. Okay. Jen, did you say something?
Yes, the problems.
Yes, you said it. Remember Petrona?
Uncontrolled rebirth in the cycle of samsara.
Rebirth is very complicated. Yes. Where is the birth? In the inevitably death. Yeah. Young man. Young man?
It's like it's holding and grasping on to anything. If we can't let it go.
Okay, tell me, what's the problem if you hold on to something?
It never stays, so it will go. But like the fact that
So hold on to the hook. It's suffering.
if you hold it too tightly, then you create expectations, and then it will be suffering because you can't reach there and you can't hold it.
Of course you can hold it with the hook. The bodhisattvas, they really bodhiswaha, they hold it so tightly, never Let go. Okay, good. I'm glad that all of you, in one way or the other, you gave the answers. Very good. Okay, I think, okay, Arjun, what do you think?
I don't know.
Huh?
I just walked in, so I'm not sure.
No, no. The question is, what do you understand by suffering? Not instances,
Right.
but suffering in general. What do you understand? What's the meaning of suffering?
Getting caught up.
Can you hear? No? Yes, no. No. That's the truth. Can you hear?
Okay.
Nobody took care of this.
It's here. Illegal.
This is not the problem is the band, the voice, and you can switch off, switch off.
I forgot how to switch it up. How do you do
This
this?
is not
Yeah.
the problem. The problem is the voice is not standing.
Okay, so we continue. What we're saying is that this requires to be contemplated a lot. See, we talk about the suffering and then the first what exact suffering. Before you understand this, we also think about three kinds of suffering. What are they? Suffering, change, basic condition suffering. Three kinds of suffering. And then try to be inclusive of all three, see how to understand the meaning of suffering, which can be inclusive of all three. So I'm going to share one thing which most of you already said, loss of freedom. So generally speaking, how many would say that yes, loss of freedom is suffering? In sense, loss of freedom in general is is freedom, that's the suffering. And loss of freedom is something which happens on all three levels of the suffering. All these three levels of suffering, there's a loss of freedom. Okay. Okay. So we think of this loss of freedom on all the levels, and also the fear. I think this is what Thosamling said. The fear. Fear has various levels. So when ordinary people, how do we understand fear is the degree of the fear which is like 50% or more, then we say it is a fear. When the fear degree is less, we don't call it fear, unless it's a form of fear. So fear is one thing. So therefore we talk about the fearlessness. Fearlessness. Okay. So this is, with this in mind, with the 8 material concerns. Yes, Chelsea.
Yes, thank you for yesterday. I think you said that fear is not an affliction, but I'm not sure how.
Okay, so yesterday I said fear is not affliction. Okay, this is a good point. Thank you. Okay, is there anybody who can explain this? I did say this. Fear is not affliction. But fear, okay. So in the context of what Thosamling said, what is suffering? Suffering is fear. And fear has various levels. Suffering has various levels. Right? But what Chelsea is bringing up is what we said yesterday. It has nothing to do with this concept. But what we said is fear is not affliction. It's emotion, but it's not affliction. Anybody who can explain this, how fear is not affliction? I think you will try.
I get that, fear could be the result of an affliction.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Fear?
Maybe sometimes fear can be virtuous, like fear of samsara.
Oh, that is interesting. Fear of samsara. That's true. That's true. That's virtuous. Yes. But the fear, in other senses, fear of the ghost, is, what do you say? It's not affliction.
I said it was a result of
Okay, yes. Just, what did I say yesterday?
that fear is not an affliction.
Okay, fear is not affliction. So, okay, what Ashwin said, I agree. Fear can be virtuous. Anyone else? The fear of the ghost, fear of losing a job, fear of dying, and fear of losing your power, and so forth. They are afflictions or not? Anyone? Yes?
Yes, because you're clinging on to yourself. You're clinging on to the idea that you want to keep that position.
So there is affliction or not affliction?
Yes.
Okay. The similar, what do you think?
I think I agree with other things. It's like a resultant, like it's the fear is coming from self-grasping, right? The self is not getting something and it's generating fear so that you're motivated to grab at it.
So motivated to grab at money is affliction or not?
But that's not an affliction, but then you have to like analyze where it is coming from.
Okay. Thank you. This is good analysis. Okay, so now let's make it very quick. And let's say that affliction. Affliction, for example, give me an example of examples of affliction. Anger. So nobody wants anger. But when you're in the grip of anger, you want to hold on to it, anger. You agree? Matthew, you agree? When you're in the grip of anger, you want to hold on to it. And attachment. When you're in the grip of attachment, you want to hold on to it. So afflictions are something, the causal state, where you have a sense of just wanting to continuously hold on to this attachment, anger, jealousy, and so forth. Whereas fear, at any situation you don't want it. You will never hold it. Hold on. So this is resultant state. So this affliction is a causal state. Affliction gives us to content karmas as a cause, then giving us to the resultant state, that is the miseries. Yes? Chelsea? Clear?
Yes.
Sort of, or you got it?
Just sort of.
Okay, one is a causal state and one is a resultant state.
So the affliction is a causal state.
Yes, and the fear is a resultant state. Okay, good. Yet, it's not very easy to make this distinction. So I don't know how Aditi got it very quickly. She got it so quickly, amazing. I was really impressed. And otherwise, this is quite complicated. Because when I was, I think, 20 or 21 years old, there was a lady, American lady doctor. She gave an amazing lecture on neuroscience, to which my teacher, Geshe, who was the principal of the institute, he asked me to be the translator to the students, all the monk students. And I was the translator. She gave a wonderful presentation. And I don't know where this question came to to her. So the next day, when we were together, she told me that I was just a beginner, first year, second year in the monastery. She said that, so fear, why is fear not affliction? And I was just startled, So what is there? I was just a beginner, and the fear, I don't know how this question came to her. It was that I said something about this, or she got it from somewhere. That fear is not affliction, and fear is emotion. Yes, it's emotion. So in the West, the Western psychologists here. So basically, emotions. Fear is part of emotion. In the Buddhist psychology, emotion per se is not really discussed. Positive thoughts or negative thoughts, and so virtues, non-virtues. Because emotion is something which includes the causal, for example, anger, attachment, and so forth, plus the result in fear also emotion. Whereas in Buddhist context, we talk about causal states and resultant states as two distinct things. Okay, that's good. Now with this, what I'm saying is that 8 mundane concerns. 8 mundane concerns, there's a loss of freedom. In all these 8, there's a loss of freedom. So what's that? Suffering. There's a loss of freedom. And the fear. So how these 8 mundane concerns give rise to loss of control. Loss of control because so these 8 mundane concerns, there's only two sets. Two sets where the loss of control is so evident. For example, let's say that the difference between His Holiness the Dalai Lama coming to the stage to receive the Nobel Peace Prize versus, I don't know, now I forgot those names. The people who won the Wimbledon trophy, right? What's the difference? You see the difference? Wimbledon trophy winners, the trophy awarded to them, then what do? They scream and cry out of joy, yes? Okay, how many know this represents? And football, winning for a World Cup football, material? Yes. 10? Okay, so this is, look, and then when you lose the competition, what happens? Hormones shatter. You're so excited. You're just thrown in the emotion. It's involuntary. Involuntary meaning loss of control. There's no control. Loss of freedom. Loss of control. Loss of freedom. But it's His Holiness the Dalai Lama, when he was awarded Nobel Peace Prize. Right? You must watch this, the documentary. You must watch it. It's amazing. Say, if you have never thought, if you don't know His Holiness the Dalai Lama at all, you've never heard about his name, and suddenly it was declared, Nobel chairman, he declared that this year's Nobel Prize is awarded to His Holiness the Dalai Lama of Tibet. Then the movie, what is that? The camera goes to all the faces in the front row. Yeah? There, and then you come to His Holiness, so that he's one of the observers. That is very normal. And you think, okay, this one is not. There's no someone who's excited, nobody. And then suddenly His Holiness stood up. Oh, this is total control of his emotion. No excitement. No excitement of joy and so forth. There's total control over one's emotion. This is amazing. So look, the excitement over the material gains, and the feeling of pain, feeling of sadness over the material loss, feeling demoralized. Excitement and feeling demoralized. These are two extremes. So these two sets, set of 4, each piece, they fall under one of these two things, either too high or too low. This is loss of control. So the material gain and material loss, excitement over the material gain and demoralized over the material loss. Then the excitement over the pleasant words and the feeling demoralized over hearing unpleasant words. Then excitement over the praise, and even somebody, this is funny, saying, if we can reach a level whereby praise does not affect you. Somebody praises you, you're not thrown into joy and happiness. This is, you're a great, highly realized practitioner. You're really yogi, but the praise doesn't affect you. Whereas somebody praises you, then this joy coming you, that is where we need to grow further. And sometimes, some people say that what is it? Empty praise, right? Exaggeration, just to make you happy, exaggerate, and still they're excited, so happy. This is indication of very low dharma practice in our thought. Then some people, when the empty place is sad, person is not affected. When the real place is sad, your good qualities sad, and you are happy. This is another level. Then, with good praise, whether real praise or empty praise, whatever, no effect. No effect. This is highest level. Some people, they feel unhappy when somebody praises you. This is also another level meaning. This is not the highest level. You're getting it? This is not the highest level. Have you seen that? Some people, you're praised, and they feel uncomfortable. That is not the highest. The highest level is where you praise, not praise, it doesn't affect you. Right? You're praised, and then it is a greater good for the community. Because you're praised so that you can give greater service to the community, then you're happy. If you're praised and there's a disservice to the community, you feel sad. Otherwise, no effect. This is the highest level of the spiritual realizations. Okay, good. So we're done with 3, and then finally, sadness, the happiness and the sadness. When you get a little bit of happy moment, you're excited. Well, the sad moment, you just go down. So these are the 8 mundane concerns. So with 8 mundane concerns, it's very clear that the things are seen as so objectively real. You getting it? Okay. So particularly when you go through these 2 extremes, then the things appear so objectively real. Okay. Let's continue reading this. We are on page 25. The true grasping in the middle. It says, debating the strength of the power and the ability. The true grasping argues that meditators cannot harm it due to a level of knowledge. The true grasping says in return, whatever empty words you say, when I set out the 8 mundane concerns, there's a clarity. See, things are seen as so objectively real. Okay, how many of you have experienced that? That when you are told to do the 8 mundane concerns, the 8 mundane concerns, then things are seen as so objectively real. Presents cheesecake is so delicious, like this, right? Okay. So that is something. These are things that we can have to learn a little bit about this, and then as taught here, just observe. Be observant. Be observant of your experiences. Be observant of how your mind reacts with the external objects. That will be very, very helpful. Then, as Venerable said, that for me, all appearances are dharmas. Venerable said, all appearances, they are dharmas for me. For example, is raining all the time? Wet all the time is dharma. No rain at all is dharma. Sometimes rain, sometimes no rain, so dharma. Anything that comes, virtues are involved, the activity within you. For example, somebody said, you step there. Again, you feel so happy that, look how my mind is reacting. If it reacts, now I look, unable to get hold of this grasping ignorance, self-centered attitude. I get this chance, he gave me this chance. And if it does not react, rejoice. Oh, I'm so glad that I've improved. 10 years ago, I used to be easily irritated. Somebody makes such a remark. Now I see that I have some deep control. I'm so glad my Dharma is really progressing. So, there, anything can trigger joy and virtue with you. That is what Venerable said. So, the 8 mundane, otherwise, 8 mundane concerns to be activated for you. 8 virtues can be activated. Okay. So it says, I also accept that you and me have you, who's you, and who's me. Hey, who's you, who's me? Who's you? Yes. You, no? Good. Self-grasping is, so no. I'm following blindly. That is because self-grasping ignorance. Right? Okay. So you is the wisdom and me is self-grasping. Self-grasping saying that I also accept that you and me have antithetical ways of apprehending, opposite ways of apprehending. Next page. If there is no place where to coexist, if you cannot coexist, And it should be you. So the wisdom of emptiness is you that goes somewhere else. I'm the essential inner person, the main person with this mind. You are only an adventitious brief moment. This friendship between me and the mind will remain unmovable, like the king of mountains, Mr. The Mount Meru. You are like momentary lightning under the great ocean, staying without generation into generation, and it just underline it and make it increase. Staying without increase or decrease. So because I'm a stable person there with the mind, so the things will not force me into increase or decrease. I'm very stable. So nobody can move me. Without increase or decrease. You are like mere moment of a dream, whereas wisdom, you are like mere moment of dream. I'm like the continuum of the ocean. You are like the one blink of an eye. I'm like the love of a mother for a child. And you are like, so this is another very important one. I'm like the love of a mother for a child. Love of a mother is so precious, amazing and precious. Okay, how many of you felt this love of your mother before age 12? Before age 12, how many felt this tremendous love before age 12? Did you know? No? Okay, let me hear later on. Okay, Chelsea? Yes. Yes. Okay, so what I would say is that this is usually for the today's people. I would say it's not necessary for today's people, it's for the people in the past also, in the future also. That if you are somebody when you were below age 6, 7, 8, and then you still remember that you did not get this love infection when you were at that age, then I would say that it is not your fault. Whereas those who got the maximum love and affection when you till age 13, 14, when you are vulnerable. And then when you reach age what? Then when one reaches age 18. Okay. Mean saying 18. Otherwise nowadays it's you are from the earlier generation. Younger than my generation. But the younger nowadays is 14. So for your time is 18. My time may be 20. Okay, so by the time you reach age today, 16, 17, 18, then start to have a conflict with your parents, you have to reconsider. Is it the problem of your parents or your problem? Whereas those who do not get this love and affection when you were a little child, a boy or a girl, meaning when you were age 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then of course it's not a mistake. And I would say that exists also. Okay, I will not go too much into this part. So the mother's love is amazing. Otherwise, particularly for those people who say who receive this love and affection till age 17, 16, 17. So for you, this love is amazing. So in such cases, although you reach like 40 years old, 50 years old, you already grown and grow like a grandfather, grandmother, but your mother still loves you. It's amazing. I've seen that. Not me. I lost my mother when I was 5 years old. But I've seen with others. So there was one gentleman who was really, really drunkard, alcoholic. And we were friends. We were friends, he passed away. We were friends. And of course, he is very intelligent, but ruined by alcohol. And the mother was still alive. So when I went to see the mother must be waiting to hear something negative about his son. And I said something good about the son, because the son is very intelligent, very knowledgeable. I praise the knowledge and his intelligence. And I said, very good. And the mother already, I think in her 80s, or almost hitting 90. And she said, she couldn't believe that I was talking something positive about her son. And she said, oh, he's good. I said, yes. There's a glow on her face. Look, what a love. It's amazing. Okay, the wisdom of Emptiness, you are like an unloved guest. You say you'll evict me. Okay, so this translation needs to be modified. It says you are like the great yogis. No, this is not. It says the great yogis. Okay, now modify this. I'm saying to you. The great yogis who are set to meditate on you. The great yogis who are set to meditate on you, comma. Then the next line, practice meditation like this. The second line, instead of who, remove the who, then we repeat it. Let me read everything once more, these two lines once more. The first line, the great yogis who are set to, who are set, S-A-I-D, who are set to, or who are set to meditate on you. The great yogis who are set to meditate on you, brackets, system. First line. Second line, practice meditation like this. Second line, practice meditation like this. Anything extra, we delete. Okay. So what the author is saying is that, so look at the so-called great yogis. Look at what they're meditating on when they say that I'm meditating on the wisdom of Emptiness, what they're meditating. In other words, who's speaking? Self-grasping ignorance speaking. Self-grasping ignorance is saying that there's no hope. There's no hope. Even look at the yogis. If somebody to be liberated, these yogis should be liberated first. Or even the yogis, they're hopeless. They're saying hopeless. How hopeless? No, look. And the descriptions, they're actually teaching for us. Teaching for us when we meditate, these are the mistakes that we can make. So that we can fix the mistakes. So here, I think, who's the youngest? Maybe he's the youngest. He's the youngest, and the youngest one, look. All the cushions are required. Cushions are required, extra seat is required. Well, maybe. Okay.
It's a throne.
Huh?
It's a throne.
Okay. Okay, now let's see. They call it meditation on mind itself. So these yogis, the so-called great yogis, what they do is that, okay, they call it meditation on mind itself. They say that we meditate on the nature of the mind. Not following harm. So they say that just observe your mind. Observe your mind. And your mind, they say, they don't follow the early moments of the mind. Don't chase after the early moments of the mind. And don't be, say, anticipate for the future moments of the mind. Just be the present moment of the mind. This is a big advice for us. You're getting it? Big advice for us. Not following the early moments. Don't chase after the early moments. Not going to meet the later moment. We don't anticipate for the future moments. Not going to meet the later moment. This and then stay in the present moment of mind. This meditation without alteration or purpose. Delete all purpose. This is just unnecessary. This meditation without alteration, stay in the pure consciousness, pure mind, just the present moment of mind, stay there. Okay, so I modified the translation, the line, this meditation without alteration, delete all purpose, the next line, on the pure consciousness, abiding naturally, just delete this, on the pure consciousness. So, cut yourself from the ruminating of the past. Don't anticipate for the future. be in the present moment with just a pure consciousness. Okay. Is this wrong meditation? Okay, let's see. So there's a nuance. If you don't tease about the nuances here, this can be very misleading. Although it is nothing but a meditation on the mind itself. Yes, it is meditation on the mind, awareness of the awareness. It is a meditation on me alone. What is this me? Self-grasping ignorance. So you see this mind, let's say that you cut off from the ruminating over the past and the stop anticipating for the future. You are in the present moment of mind, and gradually the purity of the mind is manifested. You experience the present moment of the pure mind. So there, what happens is that let's say, is there anybody who's crazy after flowers? Anyone who's crazy after flowers? Jack. Okay. And money. Yes. Anyone else? Okay, yes. Okay. 3. So if I say, particularly if I cut a fresh flower, these 3 will be very honor. Yes, Jack? You want a fresh flower to be there, not disturb, not cut, not damage, right? Or, who's that? Mean? You don't mind fresh flower being cut? Or keep it there?
Can be there.
Okay, can be there means keep it there. Imani?
Yeah, can be there.
You also cut?
No, I picked it up.
Okay. Fresh one, you keep it there. What is one, we pick it up. Okay, good. Okay, let's say, now, how is this flower? How is this flower? Imani?
Beautiful.
Look, description. Jack. Beautiful. Min.
It's not good.
Huh?
It's not good.
It smells good. Wow, from distance. No, this flower. Okay. So, look, when you say it's good, there's a great tendency that you are seeing the flowers objectively real good. You're getting it? So likewise, when you say it's a mind, pure mind, there's most likelihood that you will see it as an intrinsically real pure mind. If you don't learn about the emptiness of mind, you will get stuck. You're seeing the mind is intrinsically real. So it becomes this mind which meditates on the intrinsic reality of the mind becomes the mind which meditates on the objective reality of the pure mind is self-grasping ignorance. So it says that although it is nothing but a meditation on mind itself, it is meditation on me alone. You're getting self-grasping ignorance. It's very dangerous. So therefore, this meditation is so precious, but we must make sure that I don't fall into grasping at the mind as intrinsically real. Amazing. Next, because the mode of apprehension agrees with me. Look, so seeing the mind is very pure and seeing it as intrinsically real. So that mind, we should use this pure mind as intrinsically real, and the mode of apprehension of this self-grasping ignorance, you two are same. Because the mode of apprehension agrees with me, you yourself do not get to be meditated. Okay, do not get to be meditated. Okay, you yourself do not get to meditate, get to be meditated. Because it's not the wisdom itself, it is the meditator, yogi. He is not meditating on you, he is meditating on me. Okay, you yourself do not get to be meditated by these meditators. How could it harm me? If it is not you that they are meditating on, then they cannot harm me. Who can harm this self-grasping ignorance? Only the wisdom of emptiness. And the wisdom of the emptiness is not generated. So therefore you have not entered there. There is in their meditation. You are not a part of their meditation. Wonderful. Next. Okay. Now these are the fine tunings or the fine line corrections of the meditation where one can go wrong. Some meditate with ceased attention, without bringing anything to mind. The mode of apprehending and mind are not antithetical, so it does not harm. These are very nuanced things, and many of us, we may not get some sense, but it's very precious. Let me say it once more. Say, okay, let's say, okay, what is the opposite of flower? Singing ball? Singing ball? Singing ball, Chelsea? No. Then the rest of the things in this hall, except for the flower? The rest of the things in this hall, except for the flower, is opposite of this flower? Why not?
They're completely different phenomena.
Which one?
All the other things.
And the flower. So these are two other opposites.
No.
Why not?
Maybe the opposite would be non-flower.
Very good. So when it's the opposite means you should precisely the opposite, not just anything which is not. So he says that, so some people they meditate, saying that, okay, stop all your, what you say is attention. Stop paying attention to anything. Just cut off yourself paying attention to anything else and stay this experience. This is the best of meditation. Some say that. So what are you doing? Is you're stopping the attention. You are not stopping the self-grasping ignorance. You're getting it? Stopping the attention and self-grasping ignorance, these two are not contradictory. So he says, the mode of apprehending and mind, which is self-grasping ignorance, are not antithetical. These two are not opposites. You get it? You get it? Okay. So in fact, let's say that I want to think of the opposite of the flower. And you say, what should I do? And you say, think of a singing ball. Yes, singing ball is not a flower, but it's not the opposite of the flower. So likewise, when we say attention, you just cut all the attention to paying attention to anything else. Does it mean that you meditate on emptiness of the flower? Oh, you are not meditating on emptiness of flower. Emptiness of flower is you have to reject the objective flower. You will not reject other things. You getting it? Okay, so therefore, these two, the apprehension of that kind of meditation and self-grasping ignorance, these two are not antithetical. Therefore, it doesn't have to harm me. How could it be a meditation on you alone? So if it doesn't harm me, who can harm me? Meditation on the emptiness can harm me, which means the wisdom. So that meditation is not a meditation on you, meditation on the wisdom. You have again not entered there. What is meant by you have again not entered there? Anyone? In their enter their meaning, you don't become a part of their meditation because in their mind, the wisdom is not coming in the meditation. So these are things this author, since long time ago, when I was exposed to some of the writings, I was getting the feeling that this author is so amazing, vastly read, and a great meditator himself. Because it's not just meditating, it's able to see all the nuances. And amazing. You just read this, and particularly I would say that if you continue with your studies, contemplative meditation for years, and you also meditate. And over time, about life, maybe most likely, let's say, if you're very consistent, you'll get a glimpse of something of what the author is saying within like 4 or 5 years, then 10 years will become clear. Within 20 years, 25 years, it will be very clear. You will really appreciate on the author's amazing enlightenment, the reflections. So now we start identifying all these mistakes. This message which he is identifying is actually what is happening with many meditators. And some of them are very popular, very famous. But actually, they are having these problems. And then unless you are so well versed in these meditations, you cannot distinguish this great man, making that this is this great teacher, or this great meditation, and so forth. Okay, so next. Some when looking for a mind, okay, there is form. Okay, now some say that, okay, the mind. So you have to meditate in the awareness of your own awareness. So what is it like? You have this mind. Just check. To identify this mind, just check that this mind does not have the shape. It does not have a color. So shape and color is what? Physical form or mental? Physical form. So with this kind of identification, this kind of meditation, in a way what you're saying is that the mind is not physical form. But knowing that the mind is not physical form, it does not preclude the mind to be objectively real. Right? So therefore, they think that this meditation and this is not meditation on the emptiness, but it does not look. When all these things are done, and then you come across some other teachings, and this is every teaching which was rejected here. It's not rejected here. There are nuances here. So unless until you see the nuances, you may get confused. There are many teachings of the other traditions within the, say, Venerable Shuddha's own tradition. All these are rejected here, and you may think that, so finally what's said? All are rejected. No, they are not rejected. So there are nuances. People who fail to get it correct, the teaching, so they get lost. So we can begin with saying that your mind, okay, just observe your mind, it doesn't have a color, it doesn't have a shape, it's fine. But this is not everything. And some people think that this is everything. And actually I've heard some teachings like this. And they think that is everything. And then just Jane's experience, it doesn't have a shape, it doesn't have the color, and it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't come from anywhere. So these teachings are there, that is said is not wrong. Don't forget it. But this is not everything. You have to go beyond. You have to still go more. So, somebody looking for a mind that is form is not the say if the mind is the say the mind versus mind. Is it color? Is it shape? It's all comes from form, and meditate on its non-findability. Non-findability as a physical form. This does not exist even in my system, meaning that the self-grasping ignorance, my system means self-grasping ignorance. Self-grasping, this is not how I view things as say for example, my mind. When the self-grasping ignorance with respect to mind, what is that self-grasping ignorance? Anyone? Self-grasping ignorance with respect to the mind is the object of observation. How does the self-grasping ignorance view this mind? Views the mind as objectively real, not view the mind as physical form. You getting it? If you views the mind as physical form, then you see it's not physical form, self-grasping ignorance is rejected. But because the self-grasping doesn't view the mind as physical form, it views the mind as objectively real. So you should say that the mind does not exist objectively, rather than say the mind is not physical form. But this is the initial stage. It's not wrong. It's the initial stage. From there you still have to go more. So some just stay there stagnant, and then they say that this is meditation on emptiness. Okay. Yes.
But here he's using the word non-findability, which is
yes.
That mind is not physical form, but somehow the tendency is that this kind of meditation tries to say that the mind is the true nature of the mind is not findable at all. So
okay. So on the Virikoya, which means that you're young. Do you remember? Young detector. Okay. So you have to correlate this. Don't create your own definition. Don't create your own meaning. You have to correlate this line with the previous line. You getting it? What's the previous line?
when looking for mind.
When we look for a mind that is form, then the mind is not a form, mind is not a shape, mind is not a color, and so forth. So then comes the next line. And then when looking for a mind that is form, when senses are complete, meditate on its non-findability among the forms. You get it? So this is how you should have a comprehensive understanding, not just this is a Tibetan expression which says that the holding the vajra from the middle. This is a Tibetan expression, holding the vajra from the middle. You getting it? So you're holding the vajra, you're holding this passage from the second line. You bring the, for example, I said, there is no intrinsic Shabda word, right? Whom? There is no intrinsic Shabda word who is attending the retreat in Thosamling. Oh, he said there's no Shabda word in Thosamling retreat. You cut the other word. Intrinsic. You get it? Then people say he's crazy. When intrinsic part, then it becomes faulty. And you are here, but the intrinsic Shabda was not here. You get it? So if you cut into pieces, then the meaning will be lost. Okay. This doesn't exist even in my system. So actually this says, instead of system, it's like this doesn't exist. This does not have balance. This does not balance even from my point of view. Okay, let's keep it like this. This doesn't exist even in my system. Maybe self-grasping. Even if I say that, I don't say that the mind exists as physical form. So this is not how I say it. Why mention antithetical ways of apprehending? So because that I don't say that, so this rejection of that and my perception of the object, and these two are not antithetical, these are not opposite. Rejection, what is the rejection? That the mind to be physical form. And self-grasping ignorance, seeing the mind as object of real. These two are not antithetical. Yes? Which two? The mind as the mind rejected to be form, and the self-grasping view of the mind as object of real. These two are not opposites. These two are not antithetical. Okay. So these require a lot of intelligence. Without this, you cannot see the nuances. Since it also does not exist on your side, meaning on the side of the wisdom. And the wisdom by emptiness does not say that the empty, which sees the emptiness of the mind, does not say that the mind is not form. It says the mind is not objectively real. You getting it? So this is not your position also. Why should this meditation harm me? Harm self-grasping ignorance. Okay. The next, again, another. So many of these wrong ways of meditation or impartial way of meditation, or no, partial way of meditation, they are rejected here. So next is, some meditate on the non-artificial, natural, non-artificial, this is not a good translation. So it's non-contrived, uncontrived. Some meditate on uncontrived, natural, the bare nature of the mind. This is meditation on mind itself, meaning that the bare nature of the mind, just let the mind manifest. Yes, of course, this meditation is very precious to really observe, to really experience what this mind is a very precious meditation. But the thing is that when we feel complacent, that okay, this is, and there are many who get stuck there, just observe your mind, and you actually observe it. So till that point is very successful, and then they think that this is everything. And those people who actually do that, if you identify the root tradition, and the root tradition is amazing. It's not just full stop there. It goes deeper. But this is everywhere. So there are good teachings happening, and then gradually passed on to students, and becomes more dilute. momentarily, this is what happens everywhere. Okay, so it says there's some meditate on the unconfined natural beneficial mind. It's very precious meditation. But what is the problem? The problem is that when you end up seeing the mind, your mind, natural still mind, you stay there. When you stay there, then you tend to hold that as objective real. Done. That's the problem. This is meditation mind itself. Indeed, it doesn't transcend meditation on me alone. It doesn't transcend, which means that it does not transcend, meaning it meditates within me, within self-grasping ignorance. Meditation on me is my support. How could it be meditation on you alone? You do not enter it and it doesn't harm me. Okay, even if you see that, okay, I'm not doing anything, seems like I understand something, but it just passes by, right? So don't worry at all. As long as you get something, pay attention to what is being discussed. You understand something, that's good enough. Next time you read it, and it possible. Next time again, you try to receive teaching once more from any other teacher, you'll see that it's way easier. It's my experience. It's my experience. So just to share with you that many years ago, perhaps like 25 years ago, that I requested my teacher if I'd be allowed to join the senior class, just to attend a class. Not that I joined as I lived in my class, no. They listened, senior classes lesson. And my teacher said yes, I joined. And it was a very different topic. And I was so fascinated. My teacher was explaining with detail and asking questions, and the senior students, which means the seniors, my seniors, and they were also giving response to my teacher's question, and they were also asking questions back to my teacher. She's giving answers, and I was not getting anything. I thought that I was so dumb. I really felt so demoralized. Then, after a while, after a few months, another teacher of mine was giving teaching on the same text. But the second teacher, he was just rushing through, not really in great detail, interactive the session. More just reading it and explaining once in a while. Done. But believe it or not, literally I could understand almost everything what the second teacher was teaching. And I was amazed. So this is where, in the first teaching, the teacher taught, and I was laying the ground, digging the ground, creating the foundation. When the foundation is dark, you don't say anything atop it, it's just still a flat land. And then with the second teacher, because the foundation was already done, whatever the teacher taught was text. So then it becomes visible. So this is how learning takes place. It's not that the first teacher did not succeed, the second teacher created something in the middle, nothing. In fact, to be very honest, the first teacher taught more in detail. Second teacher just dashed through, read and explained a little bit here and there and just dashed through. But in second teacher, I understood it. Okay, so this is how it works. So therefore, these things are so precious. And finally, and also I can say, I can give you my suggestions, and then you decide. It's up to you to decide. Okay, my suggestion is that, if possible, try to study this once more, or continue to study some of the text on emptiness, and then you read this on your own. For example, I personally, I think, I don't know whether I have received a proper teaching on this, but it's all what I've learned from emptiness and other sources, and read it, and I'm fascinated by this teaching. So if you can also study the emptiness well, based on the standard text, and you read this, you'll understand it. Okay. Next, page number 28. Are we on page 28? Yes. Some say the mind is translucent. Translucent, it is like the light. It's like a light. Some say the mind is like translucent. They stop appearances. So they do say that in this meditation, they stop the appearance, the appearance, for example, in your mind. For example, sometimes, say, you don't want to just give yourself a break, and then so many thoughts come. Yes, it happens. So many thoughts come. Okay, what are these thoughts? They are nothing but appearances. You agree? Appearances. Okay, so stop these appearances. Stop the appearances. You stop appearances to the mind and meditate on the meditation without attention. Just stop all appearances. Don't pay attention to these appearances. But this does not harm me in any way. Harm these self-grasping ignorance in any way, as it does not even cross over to the side of an antidote against me. What is the antidote? Antidote is in wisdom and mention. Many of these practices, there you identify your mind so well. Once you identify your mind, then how to identify this mind? Stop ruminating over the past experiences and stop anticipating for the future, and just be in the present moment, stay there. This is a very precious practice. But many people think that this is everything. So here also, this is everything. When you say that it's everything, then finally you get the mind. You get this mind, and through the practice, the mind can become like, say, the water. When you turn in the water, you keep it still. When you keep it still the water, it becomes, all the dirt will settle down. The purity manifests. Purified manifests. That pure mind, is it mind or not? It's the mind. So what you're getting mind. And this mind, are you seeing the emptiness of this mind? No, you are seeing the conventional traditional mind. You're not seeing the emptiness. So if you don't see the emptiness, there's a tendency that you can slide into seeing that pure mind as object real. This is the problem. Okay. How would it be a meditation on you alone? Also, there you do not enter in the meditation. Meditation without, okay, now next. Meditation without listening. Listening here means learning. So it can be very confusing. But now this means, okay, somebody is coming to say something and you don't listen, you meditate. This is not the meaning. So you don't engage in the learning of what you will meditate. Without learning, most times you do is quite possible. Just, that the teacher gives the instructions orally to the student, pass an introduction with profound, famous words. This is another problem. I'm glad that we are all reading this text, that the say that the which is more difficult, meditating emptiness or reading about emptiness? It's more difficult. Reading emptiness, you can think freely about cheesecake and anything, right? And it does not exhaust your energy. But meditating emptiness, if you're very successful doing this, within a short span of time you feel tired. At times you also feel exhausted. You also feel hungry. Because energy is consumed. But just reading is not consume much of the energy. Okay, so because it is easier, and when you pass down this teaching, meditation emptiness, which is easier to transmit the actual meditation or to transmit the words of these words which contain the teachings? Which is easier to transmit? Huh? The words are easier, right? Words are easier. So we see the words while eating biscuits, juice, right? And like doing like this, still you can receive the words. But meditation you will never care. And this person will become a teacher in the future. And this person will pass on this way. The words are left, but profound words are there, but the meaning is lost. This is what oftentimes happens. So therefore, I personally would say that the Tibetan Buddhism, thus far, why Tibetan Buddhism remains so crispy is because of the one Indian master, Bodhisattva Shankarashika. And how he succeeded in doing this. So for example, today, we can see that we can still see many teachers, many scholars who can replicate Nagarjuna's experiential meditation emptiness. There are many who can replicate Nagarjuna's experiential meditation on emptiness. Many. And how come that has been successful all these 1,000 years? How come? Only for one reason, that the dilution was not happening. Why not? Because at Bodhisattva Shandrakshita, which year? 8th century AD. 1,000, how many years ago? 1,000, like 200 years ago. 1,200 years ago, this great teacher, Bodhisattva Shandrakshita, he himself was a great meditator, plus a philosopher, plus a logician. You getting it? So, physics, as this would become, anybody from physics background? Okay, physics will remain extremely rigorous system provided it is supported by mathematics. Let me repeat it. Physics will remain a very rigorous system provided it is supported by mathematics. If it is not supported by mathematics, it can become philosophy, pure philosophy. It's not physics. So, just as physics requires mathematics to maintain its rigor, the philosophy, the profound philosophy, requires the logic to maintain its rigor. In China, logic was not translated. In Tibet, this Indian master, he advised the king that the logic must be introduced. So therefore, in the Tibetan monastic universities, big monastic universities, there the logic is the key, is the methodology which is employed to study philosophy. So therefore, the philosophy is maintained so crispy, so rigorous. Even today, after 2,000 years after Arya, still people are there to replicate what exactly was experienced by Arya 2,000 years ago. It's all because of the introduction of logic. So, therefore, this is something, whereas if this is missing, as time passes, the teachings will become more dilute. Because who's there to decide which is correct and not correct, if not for logic? The logic will say that this is correct, this is not correct, this is profound. You can easily discern it. Without the logic, then anybody someone who can, like influencers, who can talk very nicely. What about this? Eloquent, the orators, right? So these people, they talk so nice, beautifully, but the subject matter is horrible. And they will become very famous, and those who really know things, they will simply die out. When the logic is there, these orators, they don't have any place. The logic will decide whether what is said makes sense or not makes sense. Okay. But profound and famous words. It is so famous, except but profound and it's more like profound. The profound words are left, the meanings are lost. Because the person does not experience, words are still left there. Because the text, you can still say from past time, one teacher to student, let's say 10 generations. The text is brought from 200, 300, 500 years ago. The textbook is the same. But the person who is now holding the text, the meditation experience is missing. But the words remain the same. Words are so powerful. Words are very profound, but the meaning is lost. This is what happens. It says that with profound and famous words, I also possess such meditations. Once they commence meditation in equipoise, when actually they meditate, what it's like, it is mostly a meditation upon my very self. Meaning that words are very powerful, so very deep, profound words, but when they actually meditate, they lack the depth. They lack the meaning. So finally they meditate on this, the intrinsic self. That's it. On my very self. Without differentiating between me and existence. Meaning that, so me is what? Intrinsic self, intrinsic existence, and existence. Saying that, okay, things exist means things exist intrinsically. Things don't exist intrinsically means nothing exists. They cannot distinguish the two. Although the next, although some say they meditate on my non-existence. So they say that, oh, they are meditating on emptiness of objective existence. But they don't distinguish between existence and intrinsic existence. They don't distinguish the two. So that although they say that they are meditating on the emptiness of intrinsic existence, they are meditating on the non-existence. Okay, what's the problem? Okay, I'm meditating on emptiness of the intrinsic flower. I'm meditating on emptiness of the intrinsic flower. So for me, intrinsic flower and flower mean the same. So what am I meditating? Do you understand what I'm saying? I say I'm meditating on the emptiness of the flower. And for me, empty flower and okay, intrinsic flower. Intrinsic flower and flower mean the same for me. So when I say I'm meditating on intrinsic flower means I'm meditating on nothingness of the flower. This is nihilism. Is not meditation. Okay. So look, these are very precious instructions, particularly for somebody who is seriously wanting to stop all the tears of samsara. Okay, how many want to stop the tears of samsara? Raise hands. Okay. Yeah, Min? Yes. Arjuna? Yes. No? Yes. Okay, how many very serious presents? Seriously want to stop the tears of samsara? Okay, how many serious? If you're still serious, you have to study all these things. Right? The only thing to do is don't meditate on that me. Which me? Self-grasping current. You meditate on you. What is you? Most of our emptiness. How to do that? You have to learn all these. Right? Okay. Okay, next.
Usually in verse 94, it says, without drawing even one distinction between my non-existence and non-existence.
Yes. So, yet I'm going to read this. Oh, you're jumped.
Oh, I did that.
Oh, this is amazing. We're so excited. Okay, she's very serious. Okay, so what he said is that I possess such meditation. Once they commence meditation in equipoise, it is mostly a meditation on my very self without differentiating between me and existence. Meaning me here is the objective self, objective existence, and existence. These two are the same. So when you say that, oh, there is no objective self, then or objective existence, they are saying no existence, which is nihilism. Likewise, although some say they meditate on my non-existence. My non-existence meaning that mind is what? Self-grasping ignorance was okay with that objective self. Now my non-existence is no objective reality. Without drawing even one distinction between my non-existence and non-existence. No objective existence and non-existence. Seen as same. One is, say, the objective existence and existence same. Other one is non-objective existence and non-existence is same. Okay. With a fine distinction how you present it, otherwise they will say. Without drawing even one distinction between my non-existence and non-existence, most are meditating solely on non-existence, meaning they're not meditating on the non-existence of objective reality, they're just meditating on the non-existence. That is nihilism. Okay. These are my enlightened activities. Sarvaswami can say that, okay, even the great yogis, this is what they are meditating, right? So they are all, in other words, related to me. This is my activity to make sure that even the yogis are trapped in samsara. But don't think that all yogis are like this. Yogis who have the comprehensive picture, comprehensive learning, who really succeeded, like Venerable and all these great masters. They are amazing. Okay, but this is just to tell us when you become a yogi, right, you can fall trap to these wrong meditations or incomplete. I wouldn't say wrong. Some are wrong, some are incomplete. Okay, these are my enlightened activities. If you did not go even into this direction, so you are not you. Who you? Wisdom emptiness. You are not found in the meditation. In the meditation, you are not there. Wisdom emptiness is not there. If you did not go even into this direction, the direction of the meditation, and at that time, where did you go? Where are you? Right? These yogis, you are not in the yogi's mind. Without arriving there in the meditation, even for an instant, to think of evict me becomes the source of laughter. Okay, next. Those who have studied a lot, okay, now this is particularly with, this is particularly with the Gerupas and Sakyapas. Gerupa University debate, right? What is said is wrong. Okay, another. Okay, now listen. Okay, so now the author is quoting these debaters. Okay. I will also include it there. Yeah. No, the author is quoting us. Right. Okay, not all, but some. Amazing. I read it and I was just thrilled. So precious, amazing, precious. Okay, those who have studied a lot, will spend like 20 years in studies. Claim that they meditate on you. Claim that they meditate on emptiness. Having done much of them, okay, there are funny discussions happening. I'm not going to share with you. In some universities where the teachers from different traditions come, some who spend many years in debates and dialectical studies, some who study so less, just like 4 or 5 years, and then become a professor. So when they're together, there's always some little bit of conflict there. Not external conflict, but mental conflict. And then I tend to be friends with both sides. Because there's finally everybody's suffering. Everybody's putting effort. Whether you study for 10 years, 20 years, or study for 3 years, 2 years, everybody's putting effort to stay away from self-cosmic. They're trying the best. So why not? We have to support. And particularly from the Bodhisattva path, we have to embrace everybody. Not to say that, this is my category, this is my group. No, this is Tibet. So therefore we have to do that. So I hear both the voices. Okay, I'm not going to share. So now you're excited, I know. Right? You want to hear what that is? Okay. 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 Only if Tim asks me on his own, no influence by others, then I will share. Otherwise, no. But it should come from on his own, not influenced by others. Okay, done. Next, those who have studied a lot claim to meditate on you, having done much affirming and analyzing. They said that this is wrong, this is not the correct way, it should be done like this. And somebody said something, no, this was also some mistake here and there, and so forth. and having done much affirming and affirming meaning, it should be like this, it should not be like this, and keep on analyzing regarding the upper and the lower limits. So say what's that? The identify what's the first seal? Sorry, what are the also 4 essentials? What's the first essential? Identifiable object negations. There you have to. Okay, we did not discuss about that part, identifiable object negation. We just said that with identifiable object negation well. So we talk it's a more detailed definition encompasses like, say, what is that? The maximalist redundancy and minimalist inadequacy. Identifying these points. Maximalist redundancy and minimalist redundancy, inadequacy. So it says that the upper and the lower limits. So this upper limit, this lower limit, and so forth, all make it very easy for the proper box. The searching for a fault in a meditation develops. Looking for a fault in the object of placement. Object of placement meaning in a meditative state. In a meditative state, what faults can somebody say that we have when talking about somebody's meditative state? And also analyzing repeatedly the meditation, analyzing, and the list. Someone who analyzes, you also analyze that. You analyze that mind also. And also analyzing the analyst of that. Analyst of the analyst, you also keep analyzing it, it never comes to an end. And finally, you don't have time to meditate yourself. Okay. So in fact, let's say for this, we have to study so well. We have to study so, and I'm glad that this is said by the author, this great enlightened author, who's so well read. Otherwise, these things are usually said by some people, who don't study too extensively themselves. And then to justify what they are doing is correct. So, and then the others, the very learned ones, learned ones, people follow them, then dissuade others following them, they say, what is, they keep examining, and they don't practice. So this is what because the author is saying, this author highly learned. He's saying this is something which we have to cherish. Okay. So in this connection, I also like to, this is a reminder for you and for me, all of us, that after study a lot, study so precious. While studying, don't compromise your contemplation and meditation. We talk about 3 wisdoms. What are 3 wisdoms? Wisdom brought through learning, wisdom brought through contemplation, wisdom brought through meditation. 3 things must go hand in hand. So the objections were directed towards those who just focus on the first wisdom, not on the second and third. I spent years and years just on the first wisdom, not on second and third. This is directed towards these people, not to somebody who studies so much. Who studies so much, meanwhile not compromising with the contemplation and meditation. This is so precious because these people will shine. For example, if you look at the Nyingma masters, Kagyu masters, even there, the real masters who shine in these traditions, they were somebody who was so well read. They were who studied so thoroughly. For example, like Geshe, amazing teacher from Nyingma. And she's so well, the whole life has been studying, just meditating. So therefore, these are the inspirations for us. Okay. And I'm supposed to share one anecdote at the Buddha. At the time of Buddha, there were two persons. One, a very young one who must be aged like 15, and another one who was already aged 25. This gap of 10 years. And both of them joined the order, joined the monastic, and the order together. One is just 15 years old, very young. And others already 25, or maybe 30. Then, what happened was that after 10 years, Yamuban is what? After 10 years, 25. Other one who joined the monastery at 30 is 40 years. So within a span of 10 years, the younger one really became a star intellectually. He learned, and he had many students, like 500 students were there. And the older, who's now already 40, his learning was slow. And he didn't have any student. Then, at that time, the two of them, after 10 years, they were to meet. And through the meeting, there was every likelihood that the younger one, because that he's not very popular and he's very learned, there was a tendency that the younger one was going to say, make some insulting remarks to the elder. They were to join together, but now there's a disparity there in their achievements. And before two of them met, the Buddha appeared. And the Buddha asked some questions to the younger one. The younger one couldn't give the answer. And the Buddha, in a way, sort of gently say that encourage the younger one to practice more and to not really approve the younger one too much. And the younger one's students were all there, 500 students were all there, and they were confused. Our teacher is so learned, so great, but the Buddha was not very happy with him. And then the Buddha asked the same questions to the elder, senior one. Senior meaning elder. And the elder one gave all the answers. And the Buddha praised the elder. And the students, 500 students of the younger one, they were confused. The elder one doesn't know anything. The Buddha praised him. And our teacher is so fast, so learned. And the Buddha was not very happy. What may be the reason? They asked the Buddha directly. And the Buddha said, the questions that I asked is not about is not to check how much intellectually you have grown. It's to check how much you have practiced. Only those people who practice can answer these questions. Those who do not practice, just go to intellectual exercises, they can't get the answer. So therefore, this younger one, he so well read, but these questions have nothing to do with on that part to examine how much the person has studied. But it's all about the second one. Whatever little he studied, he practiced this. He reflected in the response that he gave. So then the Buddha said the verse, how the practice must be done. So he gave the metaphor that study the Dharma in such a way that whatever you study, it should be like counting your own animals in the cattle. Counting your own cattle. You should not be like counting others' cattle. Do you understand the meaning? Say if you're the shepherd taking care of the others' cattle, so by the time evening you come back, you have to count the animals. And whose animals are they? Not yours. They're owned by other people. You get it? Whereas you should be able to count your cattle, your qualities, not all these realities of the Buddha, these realities of the part of seeing, part of meditation. You have to make sure that it is actually, while you talk about it, it's also happening within you. That is very important. This is what the Buddha stated. Okay, this is all reminder for all of us. Okay. So next. We are 98, verse number 98, and also analyze the analysis of that. Since the anecdotal analysis is inexhaustible, it will never end. Keep on analyzing the analysis, further analysis, keep going like this, it will never end. For example, if I say, one example, let's say that, how do we know that we are in let's say that, what is the first seal of the Buddha's teachings? What is the first of the four seals of the Buddha's teachings? All composite things that we can come. How many agree with this? All composite things. Okay, how is it that impermanent, composite things impermanent? How? Hey, give me any reason that comes to your mind. Yes.
Because all complex things are functional things are produced. And
How do you know that all things are functional things? So look, check how I am arguing. How do you know all things are functional?
because they're coming into existence because of causes and conditions.
Okay, how do you know that that will cause conditions?
From the, like from the previous moment of they were not existing and now they are existing.
Okay, so if the previous moment not existing, later moment if they exist, why should they be impermanent?
Because they then disintegrate as well. That's
What is disintegrated? How can they be impermanent?
because they're changing moment by moment.
This is what I'm saying. So disintegrating is moment of moment change. Moment change, why should they be impermanent? So look, so do you see something there? Actually, she already gave the answer, perfect answer. But if I don't know the limit, where, so I got the answer, and then once you get the answer, once you're convinced, then there's no need to ask any other questions. Whereas if you keep asking, questions will always be endlessly going, ceaselessly going. So this is the problem. So some, they don't know the limit. So they keep debating, and they never say and then if you're able to let other person be defeated, then you have a sense of achievement, that you are the winner, and then you think that you're great. This is very dangerous. Okay, but for us, don't worry, study more. Okay. And if one keeps analyzing infinitely, one will be bound by the great net of tiring conceptions, and there will be no meditation. At the time of analysis, it seems like development, but in equipoise, this meditation is never possible. Sometimes they meditate on me, sometimes they meditate on nothing, sometimes they meditate without attention. One placed on the correct meaning, once placed on the correct meaning, a meditation reality with a mode of apprehending intelligent mind is like a daytime star. How often do you see a daytime star? Very rare. So somebody who's able to meditate on the topic which is antithetical to the how self-grasping ignorance apprehends is like a daytime star. So rare. That's very true. Daytime star. If one does not go beyond such ways, one should not claim to addict me. You cannot addict self-grasping ignorance. Okay, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
As meditation, like from this example, how does one know when to stop analyzing? Let's say if we analyze, if I analyze someone, my object is me. How?
Okay, did you all follow what Himani said? How do you know when to stop questioning or when to stop inquiry? Okay, let's say, I said, don't worry too much about that part. You're getting it, but I'll give you an example. Meanwhile, don't worry too much about that part. Only when you get into this state, I'll be there to tell you, now stop. You're getting it? But I'll give you an example. Let's say that okay, for the lunch, what did you have?
Fruits,
Say fruits
and noodles.
and noodles. Did you really have noodles?
Did I what?
Did you really have noodles? Did you really have noodles? Huh?
Did you really eat noodles?
Yes.
Okay. Are they noodles or these are worms? Worms? They're worms or noodles? How do you know that they are noodles and they are not worms?
This is when I stop questioning.
No. You know that this is noodle and there's not worms.
They didn't have legs, they didn't move.
Oh, the tapeworms, they don't have legs.
Yeah, they didn't move worms.
Dead bones, they don't move.
Dead bones, okay.
Dead bones, they don't move. Okay, that is where you add noodles, also add noodles. You getting it? That is something direct perception. You experience that, I experience that, and if you keep exploring like this, it will never end. So you stop at a point where you and I commonly agree. You getting it? But this, when you stop it, it may not be the correct place to stop because we may agree on the wrong points. But it doesn't matter. Then somebody else will debate with you. Then, if you see that what you think is correct has a flaw, again you change your mind. This is how we keep growing. You getting it? So the thing is that when there is something which is conventionally accepted, both sides stay here, and then to keep exploring other points from other angles. If you're good. Any more questions?
Do we have a class after this?
No. Yes. Yes.
Just I'm wondering at this point for all of us, how to balance the time between studying, reflection, and
Okay, don't worry about balancing. First time, how to balance the study, concentration, meditation. Don't worry about that. How to balance mobile and studies, right? Just have to balance that. Once you're able to balance that, next comes, oh, this is amazing. If mobile is not there, oh, I overstudy, I over-meditate. If this is your problem, I will come to prostrate to you. This is not an issue for us. For us, the issue is, oh, I will study. We never say, I am studying. We always say, I will study. What I'm doing, I am mobile. So this, you have to balance. Once that balance is found, then you become serious. Everybody says that, oh, Ashwin is a serious person, right? Ashwin is a serious person, he should do this study. Then you can say the study is a continuous flow. Continuous flow. Whatever you have studied within a single day or within the next day, just try to contemplate. And contemplation can be sometimes it can be like 10 minutes. Sometimes it can be like 1 hour, 2 hours. Sometimes you can be so caught up with the contemplation that it keeps going, and then you may find that okay, you get stuck there. Okay, this is where, and then you need to go back to studies to resolve this intellectually. Once intellectually resolved, again apply this to your contemplation. Once you're convinced of all these concepts, once you're very convinced, okay, self-grasping ignorance, no, nothing exists objectively, and you meditate on this, your, say, the mental turbulence subsides. Extreme peace is felt deep inside. You're very confident with this, and then now you see that, okay, you read this, all what you're reading, they are reinforcing, not adding, reinforcing your confidence. So then it's time for us to spend more time with meditation. So studies always, because even with meditation, the studies will, so for example, meditation is like stacking the building. Stacking the higher the building goes, the scaffolding should have a broader and broader base. You getting it? Scaffolding should have a broader and broader base. This scaffolding is the studies. So the broader and broader studies will make sure that your meditation goes deeper and deeper. Good. Any more question? Last question? Anyone? Okay, no question. Good. We'll check in the chant. Okay, three precious together.